Hello, fellow chemists. In this video, we're going to take a look at calculating mass volume percent. This is labeled as an intermediate level video because it assumes you have basic understanding of the terms solute, solvent, and solution. If you need a review of that information, I'll put a link in the upper right-hand corner. All right, in previous videos, we look at how to calculate mass percent for a solution, volume percent for a solution. Now we're going to take a look at the last one, mass volume percent. Of the three, this is the only one where you must have specific units. Your mass of solute must be in grams, and your volume of solution, which is solute plus solvent, must be in milliliters. For the other terms, for the other percent mass, percent volume, you could have used any mass units or volume units. You got to be very specific with this one. Solute in grams, solution in milliliters. So we'll keep track of that as we kind of go through the two sample problems for this type of equation. So if we take a look at the first problem, it says if 4.87 grams of dextrose was dissolved in enough water to give 1.8 liters of solution, what mass volume percent would result? All right, well, what's being dissolved? We have the 4.87 grams of dextrose. So this is the solute. And now look carefully how this second part is written. In enough water to give 1.8 liters of solution. This 1.8 liters is not the solvent. That's the entire solution. If you didn't read that carefully, you might think that's just the solvent. You would be adding this to the top number, and that would give you an incorrect answer. So you always have to be really careful. Am I giving you the entire solution, or am I just giving you the solvent? If I'm just giving you the solvent, you need to add the solvent and solute together. So always read that carefully in a problem. Am I giving you the solution or just the solvent? So now we need to check, is everything in the correct units? We need to have our solute in grams, it's in grams. We need to have our entire solution in milliliters, but we have it in liters. So our first step is going to be to convert 1.8 liters into milliliters. So we have 1.8 liters, and we'll set up a conversion here. We'll put liters on the bottom, milliliters on the top. 1,000 milliliters for every 1 liter. So we have it set up so that liters and liters cancel out. So if we take 1.8 times 1,000, that will give us 1,800 milliliters. All right, so now we have our solution in milliliters. We have our solute in grams, so we can do this formula here. We have 4.87 grams divided by 1,800 milliliters of solution. And if we take 4.87 times 1,800, we get 0.0027. And then we have to multiply that by 100 to get it into a percent, which gives us 0.27% for our mass volume percent. Okay. So that's the answer to the first one. Now for the second problem, it says if you dissolve, or if 120 milliliters of solute was dissolved in 900 milliliters of water, what mass volume percent solution would result? All right, so let's again take a look at the information that's given in the problem and identify our solute, solvent, solution in there. So it says you have 120 milliliters of solute, and that's being dissolved. So this 120 milliliters is our solute. And then it says it's dissolved in 900 milliliters of water. It doesn't say it's dissolved in enough water to give you 900 milliliters of solution. So this 900 milliliters is not solution. It's solvent. And remember, to get solution, you must add solute and solvent together. Make sure you see how the wording of the previous problem and this problem are different. The previous problem gives you entire solution. This one gives you solvent. That's the number one thing that my students get wrong when they're doing these problems. They don't keep track of whether they're working with solvent or solution. All right, so our solute has to be in grams, but we're being given it in milliliters, but then it does give us the density, and density can convert between mass and volume. So our first step is we're going to convert 120 milliliters of solute into grams of solute. So we'll use the density, this is our density here, as the conversion factor. We want milliliters to cancel out, we'll put it on the bottom. We want to end up with grams, we'll put it on the top. We have 0.82 grams per 1 milliliter. And when we do that, milliliters and milliliters will cancel out, and that'll leave us with grams. So 120 times 0.82 divided by 1 gives us 98.4 grams, and that's solute. All right, so now we've converted our solute into grams, so we can kind of begin doing this formula here. So we have 98.4 grams of solute divided by, now our entire solution is 900 milliliters, that's our solvent, plus 120 milliliters, that's our solute. So if we add those together, it gives us 1,020 milliliters of solution. So if we take 98.4 and divide it by 1,020, it gives us 0.096. And then to convert that into a percent, we just multiply by 100, and that'll give us 9.6% for the second problem. All right, that's it for this lesson. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.